Hello, everyone. Welcome to Homer's Frenemies, a podcast dedicated to the love of early Simpsons episode. And you can follow Homer's Frenemies on Twitter at Homer's Frenemies or follow us on our YouTube page. And remember to hit that like. This week, we are reviewing Season 3, Episode 20, Colonel Homer. Hi, my name is Jay Lizard, and you can follow me on my Twitter page at Jamie Sardo. That's JAIMLIZARDO. With me is my co-host Jimmy. How are you doing, Jimmy?
So I like to think I'm a pretty smart guy, but I had a rude awakening just a bit right now because I don't know anything about plumbing. I've helped my dad so many times doing the plumbing that I thought, okay, I can handle this. Like I got sent into the store to help him, and it turns out all I've been doing is handing him things and not even everything. So that was kind of kick to the ego's balls. So yeah, I'm recovering for that. Got some ice here.
Well, you're plumbing bad in your house?
No, plumbing like the AC. You know how they got like it
Oh,
goes
okay.
in the plumbing section. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And where can they follow you, Jimmy?
Jimmy Journals. It's JYNMI_journals.
You like going to those stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, or you get
No, I
lost?
mean it's okay. So it's interesting. Like back when I worked on retail, I was real close to there, and I guess I could have gone and just looked around just to do something different. But yeah, no, it's fascinating to see everything, but I have no idea where everything is. None of it.
I get lost. But you know what I do like, Jimmy? I like the smell of new wood.
Yeah, me too. Or cut grass. Those are two of my favorite. My three favorite
Like
smells is new wood, cut grass, or rain.
cut grass.
You
Why
never
cut
smell
grass?
cut grass?
Yeah, that's when I'm like stop doing that because I have like my eyes are watery, my nose is running.
Yes, but while you can still smell, that it's a very pleasant aroma to me. I like
Mine
it.
is yeah, that's disgusting. It's like you're killing the grass.
Yeah, it's actually the plants are actually calling out for help or sending out like a warning or distress signal.
Yeah, my favorite three smells are new woods, fresh coat of paint, and the smell of bread.
Oh, bread's a good one. Bread is
Yeah,
a good one. So you could never
remember
work
what?
in a bakery, huh?
No. Well, every time I had like boxes back in my workday, I would have boxes from for the bakery, and I would always go in. I'm like, damn it, I like that smell.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy. Earlier this week, I did send you a text, and are you not watching Bob's Burgers?
I completely forgot about it. It's because so
Oh my.
I had to watch The Simpsons, and I do watch
Okay.
them because I'm trying to see which episodes I want to do and which episodes I don't want to do. And then we also this my friend's been pushing me to watch this other show too. And I was gonna watch it on Sunday, but it was after it aired, but before it came out on Hulu, and then I just kind of forgot.
You're missing Bob's Burgers.
I know,
Really?
I know, I feel terrible about it because it is one of my favorite shows. But
How
here's the
many?
thing:
How many? What's up?
Bob's Burgers. One of the best things about it is we would always talk about it when we would work together at work.
Yeah.
So once we stopped working together, it was a lot harder to keep up with it because you
Then I
would
always
even say, you would text me like, "Don't tell me anything. We'll talk about it in person at work." So
and
it's
then I
kind of
said,
like,
and I'm like, did you watch it? No, I'll watch it today.
shut up.
And I'll give you like the Simpsons quote of the day as well.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna try and give you a Simpsons. I'm gonna try and give you a Simpsons quote of the day and stuff. All right then. Well, this week we are doing season 3, episode 20, and the weird thing coincidence is that on Disney Plus it says it's episode 19, but I learned that's actually episode 20 because on Disney Plus episode 3 season 3 episode 1 is no longer there because of the
Yeah.
Michael controversy.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, what?
I mean,
So
so I wonder how much. I wonder if those season threes before
oh,
they did that out are worth money. I gotta look that up because I wonder if they're worth more
no,
money now.
no, I went and it's still like $10.
Damn it! Well, I might buy an extra. I might buy that though, because just to have an extra copy of it, because that episode's
Uh,
gone forever.
yeah. Also, so all right. Homer. We're doing Colonel Homer, and Homer becomes the manager of a beautiful young country singer and finds himself almost attracted to her, sparking Marge jealousy. All right, Jimmy, name something positive about this episode and something negative about this episode.
Oh well. So like, are we doing just the first part or just like overall?
Overall, what's the one thing you liked about this episode and one bad thing you didn't like about this episode?
The one thing I like the most is, I mean, the Simpsons always have fun musical numbers. Unless it was that clip show, they do have pretty fun musical numbers, and
Oh,
Lorleen's
that's it.
songs.
With all the musical. Ugh.
Yeah, but Lorleen's songs were actually really catchy, and it was like the
Yeah.
highlight is when you would see them, like how everybody reacted to the songs. Mo was listening to one. He's like, the drinks are free for the next hour, and it's empty. And then Barney comes out and like, "What'd you say, Mo?" Nothing.
And he was crying.
Yeah, and so I think that just seeing how everybody reacted to the songs was like the high point. As
And what's something you didn't like? Or are you still talking about the one thing you like?
well, the thing that the thing that I don't like, I don't know if I wouldn't say I don't like it. It's just I don't know if they would have been better if we could have seen Lorleen as not so much not so needy of a person, like not somebody who just wanted to sleep with Homer at the end, because she could have been. Maybe it's a guest star thing, but it would
Yeah.
have been interesting to see how it would have ended if, she liked him but she was respectful, or she just saw him as a friend. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like, how would that episode have ended if Homer just has a platonic friend? Because I think one of the problems I noticed is that in the Simpsons season 2, we had 2 episodes where Homer and Marge were fighting. And then here's another episode that was, and I forgot that it started with them, they're fighting, and it's kind of like, well, what if this episode ended and Lorleen just stayed Homer's friend, and you could have seen how Marge would react to nothing happening, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of, that's the thing, is I would have liked to see it as Lorleen not have trying to done something with Homer and just being his friend, but then again, she also kind of got screwed over, because later episodes we see how she's kind of destroyed from stardom.
Yeah. That's true.
And what are the highs and lows of this episode?
The thing I liked about this episode was the makeup section of Homer and Marge's relationship. Like I always say, true love always wins, even though Homer could have slept with Lorraine. And Marge was the only person that loves Homer. I mean, there was a sequence in the end where like when Lorraine says "sleep with me," and he's reminding that about
he's having flashbacks.
Flashbacks of all the girls that slapped him and screamed at him, "Get out of my car!" But Marge is the only one that actually loved him. And for me, the thing I didn't like about this episode, I think this episode fell short. It's just I didn't actually write a lot of notes for this episode. I think it's because mainly was like maybe 6 minutes of music.
It's hard to take notes on music.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, she's singing, she's still singing, she's still singing.
And then
That's it.
They played a song twice, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, it was like a short form, long, and then there's a new song, and then another new song, and another new song. So it's basically like 7 minutes of music. So I didn't write that much notes.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of questions for you, Jimmy.
I had a few too.
So, all right, ready to start Act 1?
Yes.
All right. The Simpsons go to the movie theater. They all disagree of the movie choices. So Bart and Lisa choose their movies, while Marge and Homer chooses theirs. While watching the movie, Marge is getting annoyed by Homer due to his slurping his drink, eating, talking loud,
Choking.
choking, and spoiling the movie ending because he already knows how it ended. Marge tells off Homer. Homer leaves and goes to the Beer and Brawl bar where he hears a song. Homer loves the song, and it's sung by Lurleen. All right, Jimmy, what's Act 1? What's the highs and lows and whatever you want to talk about?
Well, okay, so one of the things this is a question I have. So
right.
Homer was watching the movie, right? And it was
Yeah.
a taut political thriller. And he couldn't even focus on what the guy was saying. And then he's like, what did the guy say? Oh, what did that guy say while I was talking? And yet, he remembered this random spoiler. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he saw it in a magazine or somebody just said it, and he remembered that, and he didn't even know what the movie was. So he remembered the spoiler to the movie, but he did not remember the movie.
Do you remember the movie's name?
The Stockholm Affair or the Stockholm
Yeah.
Syndrome, something like
Yeah.
that.
There. All
I
right.
mean, and
What?
that sounds like they're making fun of like those spy type movies too. So I like that title.
Political thriller. It's a political thriller. I did write down all the movies that were playing at the movie theater. You want to hear them?
Sure.
And I want you to see which one would you pick. Okay. There's I'll Fry Your Face, number 3. The Smelling Room 19. Space Mutants 6. Honey, I Hit a School Bus. Look Who's Oinking. The Stockholm Affair, and Ernest versus the Pope.
Oh, there's two of those that I would like to see. One is I don't know because I did grow up watching the Ernest P. World movies. Like I did like those. They were dumb, but
Ernest versus the Pope.
yeah. So it's either that one or I'll Fry Your Face, just because it sounds like a B movie slasher film.
I'll Fry Your Face, number 3.
Yeah.
Have you seen part 2 or number 1? For me, for some reason, I would like to see. I want to see the Smell in Room 19, just to see what the hell it is.
My guess is it's romance. Like it's romance. Maybe he did something with his fingers, and it just he smells it whenever he's in that room. I don't know.
Well, we learned. Yeah, well, we learned that Homer and Marge picked the Stockholm Affair because Look Who's Oinking was sold out. So, and I know that Lisa and Bart, I guess they picked Space Mutants 6 because there's mutants and there was aliens everywhere.
And even though Lisa wanted to go see Honey, what was it? I Shrunk the
Honey, I
Kids.
Hit a School Bus.
Honey, I Hit a School Bus.
Yes. And how about the part where Marge is getting annoyed by Homer? What did you think?
I don't. You know what? I don't feel any resentment towards her. I can completely see where she's going from. Homer is lucky that he did not get the scary movie treatment. Okay, because
That's true.
some people would have done that, where she's yelling and talking to the movie, everybody starts attacking her, and she gets stabbed. That's kind of that's the joke that always comes to mind now when I see that. Like just everybody just ganging up on the one person talking in the theater.
Yeah.
So he got out
And
lucky.
Yes. And then I think it's Marge that just tells him to shut up.
Nobody
in the
cares
end,
what you think.
And then we see where they're mad at each other, and Homer leaves.
Oh wait, hold
that-
on. There's something that here's another question that I don't get. Lisa watches Itchy and Scratchy, correct?
Okay.
And that
Yes.
thing is violent and gory and bloody. And then when she's watching the Space Mutants, Bart's like, if you don't watch the scary scenes, you'll never God damn it, you'll never get used to it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how is she not used to it? That's all she watches is people,
Yes.
a cat and a mouse getting butchered. That's all she watches. That's her favorite
Yeah,
thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, it's just an alien eating humans.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's humans, it's not a cat and a mouse.
And let's face it, the worst part in a horror movie is when they kill the family dog or cat. So, I mean, the worst part in that movie Life was when they killed the mouse. So I don't know what her problem is.
And I also let me back up. When they parked the car, they couldn't find a parking space, so they got the compact park space. Remember that? It's like I see a lot of sparks. Okay, we're almost there. Everybody through the window.
What movie is that? Because I think that's based on a movie where it's like two submarines that grind against each other.
I don't know.
But
Is
I
it-
always think of that scene like that's one of those weird scenes. This and another line that comes out later that I always remember from this episode. I don't remember it's from this episode, but I always remember these two parts is the sparks and then another line that comes out later towards the end.
No, I think I know which one it is. I wrote it down. I'm not sure if it's that one. It's on Act 2.
Okay, it might be.
I wrote it down, and I'm like, this is a Jimmy kind of thing he always said. So Homer leaves, and he's driving outside of city limits, I guess, and he looks at a billboard, Flaming Pete's, and he finds out that it's burned down. And then I guess he's holding his breath because
He's
he passes
past
through a fertilizer, a county dump,
a
a
sulfur
sulfur,
mine.
and open sewers for 40 miles.
And oh, the skunk! Don't forget the skunk at the beginning.
Yeah, yes. This reminds me when I get out of the state too to go to New Mexico, going to the next city after us. There is I guess a dairy plant.
I don't think I've ever passed it. Smelled the dairy pan.
No, it smells like freaking fertilizer for like 2 miles, 3 miles. So, anyways, Homer goes to the beer and brawl, and they there's it's a country, I guess doo-wop or something like that.
A
There's
redneck
a
bar,
redneck bar, and they don't sell bud. They sell fud,
which Mo will later on be very impressed with.
and it's weird too because fud is also a isn't it a meat package item from Mexico? Fud, FUDD.
Like a fud packer? Wasn't that a
No,
South Park joke?
no, it's a
That's fudge.
fud. It's
Oh, okay.
no, it's fudge. Fud is I think it's like it has hot dogs and stuff like that. It's a Mexican brand of meat or something like
They
that.
do the cheese, right? Those cheese wheels?
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
food. I think they call it food over there or something. So we hear for the first time we hear Lurleen sing the song. What did you think about the song?
I mean, it was pretty. I think what you when you're watching and you pay more attention to Homer because he's like, yeah, that's true, and it's like, Homer, you have an easy life. Like you're saying that the boss never recognizes you, but you never do anything. You're lucky you don't get fired. But I like at the end where he's like, this matches me, except for the truck part. The truck part.
Yeah, and then, I mean he just had a fight with Marge. That was it. It wasn't like anything bad.
Yeah,
That's like it's going on every day.
yeah, he
Let
has
me
a
ask,
pretty easy life.
let me ask you, Jimmy. Are you a country music fan of yourself?
I like some stuff from Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash.
Hmm.
Hippies,
I
basically.
That's true. I used to like country music back into. I was a unquote white person back in 2002 to 2007, where I was. That was my college years when I was wearing cowboy hats, jeans, and stuff like that. Well, that was because rock music died on me. And it reminded me, I was a fan of Papa Roach and Disturbed. They were talking about Disturbed with their.
Yeah,
Uh,
they kind of their songs have been kind of weird. Like some of them just sound so like generic Disturbed songs.
yeah, I mean, I was the biggest Disturbed fan, and then they just went slow and slow, and the sound of silence, and if I lose my faith, anyways, I went to country music, and I was a big country music fan, and Britney Spears came into my life. So after that, it's been Britney Spears all the time.
Yeah, you just
So
want consistency.
yeah, well, that's kind of weird because I was into R&B music and then to hard rock music, and then I went to country music, and then now I'm pop music. I listen to nothing but pop music. That's me. All right. Anything else for Act One?
Let's see here. Well, okay, so I think my favorite line from Act One, because the line I'm
Yeah.
thinking of is from Act Two, but I was thinking how messed up is Lorleen? Like how messed like did you listen to some one of her song titles was "Don't Look Up My Dress Unless You Mean It," which I guess should
No,
have been like hinting, yeah, she's very needy and she's got kind of like this messed up
life.
life. But also it's funny too because when Homer said we need to crack open your head and scoop out those songs, she went with him. Like
Yeah.
if
I
somebody
mean,
told you, "Hey, I need to crack open your head and take that ideas out," you wouldn't go with that person, especially if you just met them.
yeah. I guess she's one of those people who wants attention, needs attention. I guess.
Yeah. And so the other thing that I thought was funny is when is she tells him you're just a big old sack of sugar, and Homer's
Oh,
like, "You said
you,
sugar."
you, you did say
Pause.
sugar.
Yeah. But so this episode did bring in this part that I have two questions.
Yes.
First question: do we ever see Krusty's sister? Because he's
Krusty.
beating up Sideshow Mel, and he's like, I told you to stay away from my sister. Do we ever see his sister?
I never seen his sister at all.
Yeah, never. And the other part is when he was talking to Marge about who Lurleen was. He's like, "Oh, she got fired. She's unemployed." When did she get fired? Did they say that? Did I miss it?
No, I thought she was always because I mean after her concert, I mean her little thing, she went back waitressing.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, when did she get fired? I don't know. That
Yeah,
just struck me as weird.
well, we'll find out after this episode for the IMDb quizzes and stuff. Let's see if they explain a little bit. Also, Lurleen is voiced by Beverly D'Angelo. If you guys know who Beverly D'Angelo is, she plays the mother of all the National Lampoon's vacation movies. Have you seen those movies
I have never seen a National Lampoon's movie.
with Chevy Chase? You
No,
never?
no, and I was curious, but
Yeah,
then like from what I started to hear a lot of stuff about Chevy Chase and him being kind of a douche. So I'm like, I don't really want to watch it
yeah,
now.
especially on the Christmas vacation. But I do love the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation movie. I watch it if
Every
it's on
year.
TV. Yeah, I just watch it right there, even if it's in July. I'll
Yeah,
still watch it.
I've never seen it. Cause I did look her up, cause I'm like she's got a nice singing voice. Cause I was curious if she did like
Yeah,
records or albums, but
yeah, yeah, me too. And I thought it was gonna be like the actual country singer. You
cause
know, I
she
didn't know
does have a voice that could do
she
country.
has a good voice. A good voice. Okay, anything more on Act One, Jimmy?
I mean, like just again, I guess they were setting it up from the beginning that she was gonna try to sleep with Homer because when Homer's talking to Marge, he also said, "Oh, she had me try on outfits." It's like, Homer, you can't be that dumb. You can't
Yeah.
be that dumb. But yeah, I just that's why I said I'm curious to see if like how it would have been if Marge was completely wrong and Lurleen was just a friendly person.
That's true. All right, let's go to Act Two. Homer
Act three,
returns home happy. Act Two. We're in Act Two.
we skipped
Homer
around.
returns. I know you're confused. We did Act One. Now we're doing Act Two. Act Two. Homer returns home happy and has an idea. He visits Lurleen and wants to record the song. The song is a hit. Bart hates country music. Marge doesn't want Homer to spend the day with Lurleen, but Homer spends the day with Lurleen. And Lurleen wants Homer as her manager, and Homer comes back home with the new cowboy uniform bought by Lurleen. All right, are you ready to talk about Act Two?
I've already talked everything I had about Act Two. That's why I
Oh,
was so confused.
no,
I'm like, we skipped so much.
no, we didn't. We didn't talk about when they record this. The CDs only cost a quarter.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. Like, how much? What's the way to say this? How poor and white is Larlene, where she never thought of going to record her albums or her CDs to show off, and it's a quarter? How poor is she? Like, I know waiters don't get paid a lot, but back then, they were still getting their minimum wage was it had more buying power than it does now. So you should have been able to afford a quarter.
And then after they record the song, the guy is like, "I have a brother who owns a radio station and wants for you to I guess to record with him." He's like, "What do you think about Homer? It's your quarter." And he's thinking about it. He just thinks about it. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't sure.
Now we hear the song all over Springfield. Everybody likes the song except for Bart. Bart says country music sucks. All it does is take precious airspace away from shock DJs whose cruelty and profanity amuse us all.
Damn straight.
And then Marge doesn't want Homer to hang out with Lurleen no more. But in the end, Homer still goes back and visits Lurleen. This is where Lurleen wants Homer as her manager. Anything about that?
I mean, like, he gave her every possible reason why she shouldn't. It's just she wanted to be close with him.
Yeah. And then Lurleen buys him a cowboy suit and stuff. And then Homer doesn't show up after. And then Homer shows up after midnight. After that,
Okay,
Marge
here's something.
what?
How did Lurleen have money to buy him that suit?
Well, I mean, this is where the song was already popular.
Yeah, but they were just playing it. Like she wasn't getting royalties or anything. They just asked, "Hey, can I just play your song?" Did she spend her
Well,
life savings or her savings to actually buy Homer a suit?
I don't know. I think I know when they play the songs on the radio, you get royalties on it.
True, but it's not a lot. It's like maybe a. I don't think it's a lot. Like, hold on. Let me. I'm curious about this now.
To see how much money. But
How?
anyways,
Go ahead.
Marge is not impressed, and Homer says, "No, this is my childhood dream." And I'm like, "No, your childhood dream was to eat the biggest hoagie."
How many? Somebody needs to make a list of Homer's dreams.
I know two. I know the hoagie, and I know the Dallas Cowboys.
And he came close to one.
Broncos. I mean, he did the hoagie when he ate the biggest hoagie. Did you find out how much they?
I found out, but it's complicated.
Because you had to.
It's complicated. But if there's just one radio station playing her song, there's no way she's making a lot.
Let me see. Quarter? Did you get her quarterback?
I'm pretty sure he got his quarterback, but like I don't know. I just don't think there's any way that she could afford that suit, especially since she was unemployed.
All right. Are you ready for Act 3?
Yes,
All
because I
right.
finished Act 2 a while ago.
All right. Act 3. Act 3, I really didn't write a lot of notes, but I do have a lot of things to say about it. Act 3. Homer brings Marge to the recording studio while Lurleen is recording. Marge is mad. She records "Bag Me a Homer" and makes Marge more mad. Lurleen is set to go on TV. She sings Homer a new song, "Bunk with Me Tonight." Lurleen wants to sleep with Homer. Homer has second thoughts. On the TV show, Homer is reminded that he only has one true love, and that's Marge. He sells Lurleen's contract and goes back home. All right, Jimmy. What do you think about Act 3?
My favorite line in this episode is when Marge first meets Lurleen. She tells Homer, she's like, "I thought you said she was fat," and Homer tells her, "It takes two to lie, one to lie and one to listen." Was that the line you were thinking of?
That's the quote I wrote. Yeah, I'm like, this is a Jimmy quote because on the Bart gets an elephant, it was in theory.
Yeah,
this reminds me of you too.
The Simpsons in the older episodes, even like the just okay episodes, they always had at least one line that I find myself quoting. But the other question is well, not so much a question.
But Jimmy, let me interrupt. But you know the quotes, but you don't know the episodes that's in the quotes.
Because they're
like
timeless.
Bart gets an elephant. You didn't know what.
Because they're timeless.
I didn't know it was in this. I'm like, it's a terrible episode, but I like to quote.
But that's the beautiful thing about the Simpsons is their episodes are timeless and they can go in any situation. No, but I was gonna say how much damage do you think Marge did to her teeth in this episode?
Oh, when she was grinding them?
She was grinding her teeth when they were recording to Bag Me a Homer, and earlier Bart was even slapping and doing like a hand slap combo, and it wasn't loud enough to stop him. But Marge's teeth grinding was loud enough to stop him. You gotta think like she's probably how hard are you gonna have to like grind your teeth to actually make that kind of sound?
Well, she is pissed.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, if your wife is hearing another girl saying, "I'm gonna bag me a Homer,"
and he's with her all the time
on the recording studio.
Yeah.
And then the lyrics, after you hear the lyrics, I'm like, oh.
She wants to bump him.
Yep. And then Lurleen is going on TV. She's going to like a Hee Haw TV show. It's called Yahoo. Have you seen an old episode of Hee Haw?
I don't know what Hee Haw is. Is that what they were parodying?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
It's an old time '70s show back in the day. I seen like probably one episode, but I wasn't into it.
Was this before or after Jeff Foxworthy made it okay to be called a redneck?
No, this one was way before. This was the '70s.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess, and then Darlene sings a new song for Homer, and it's this one's "Want You Want to Bunk with Me Tonight." What do you think about that when they go back to her trader?
There is so when I first watched this episode, I remember thinking, okay, so Homer, maybe Homer likes her and he's in denial about anything happening with her. But when I saw that part where she's like, "That is so hot," any guy would be turned on. Okay, well, bye. Maybe he
Okay,
didn't know what that she wanted anything. Maybe he honestly did not know. But here's the thing about Homer.
yeah,
Okay, he's not innocent too. Because instead of saying no or I have a wife and family, notice that he said, "I gotta think about this." Like instead of just saying no, nothing's gonna happen, he said, "I had to think about this." Like, dude,
that's.
it's no.
I mean, how many affairs have not affairs, but how many ladies liked Homer throughout?
The only ones I could think of is
I remember the
Lorleen
Lurleen, the
and the
girl
new
from
lady at the plant. I think she's
the
played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
I believe so. I
Yeah,
forgot what her. I forgot. Mandy, was it Mandy? Hey Mandy,
I
somebody like.
I think so.
Did you think Nip Flanders' wife liked Homer?
No, I honestly don't.
You think Homer liked Nip Flanders' wife?
Yes, yes, he did. Because in one scene where he was telling Flanders off, he's like, "Your wife's butt is higher than mine. Mine is." And it's like,
And in the end, Homer's reminded that he loves Marge after he sees the flashbacks, and there's one woman that always loved Homer, and that's Marge. So Homer sells Lurleen's contract for $50, and Homer returns home while Lurleen sings "Stand by Your Manager."
yeah,
Any
that was sweet. Like when they're just lying down, and she's like, "I tried to kiss him," even though she did kiss him several times before, and she actually did
oh yeah,
kiss him this time. But and then
I mean,
and you see Marge's face just look angry, but Homer ran. Oh,
oh, and then it's like, and that was the end. I'm telling you, this episode was really really short.
I don't know if it was short. It did go by fast.
It goes fast, but it was short. It's because of the music. I mean, there was a lot of music and stuff.
Yes, but
It
it
was like,
wasn't like cheap music where it's just, oh well, they're just showing her singing. No, they had jokes. They had like character moments that showed, it was character. It was how the Springfield people would react. Although my favorite one, and I love these scenes where they just show like normal people reacting to the crazy stuff in The Simpsons, and Homer, he's singing the song and he's going like this with the the nuclear power plant, and then you just see the lights turn off and on at the hospital, and they're like, "You weren't supposed to take out his gallbladder. Put it back. Put it back."
all right. Are you ready for some IMDb trivia?
Yes,
Stuff
sir.
that you. All right. According to IMDb, unlike most other guest stars on the series who record their lines and then leave to accommodate their schedule, Beverly D'Angelo stayed with the production team all day and pitched several jokes for the episode.
Ooh, did
Nice.
any of the jokes make it in?
I don't know. It just said she was there to pitch jokes.
I guess she was a fan of the show.
I think, well, yeah. Also, this is the only episode of the series written solely by Matt Groening.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Did you like the episode?
I mean, I liked it. I like I said, the only thing is I would have liked to see Lorleen as more of an innocent person, more instead of broken and just trying to sleep with somebody that was ever nicer. I thought it would have been more interesting that way, but I liked it. You?
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I also liked the music as well. Speaking about the music, Beverly D'Angelo wrote two songs for the episode. Your Wife Don't Understand You, which Lurleen sings at the beer and brawl, where Homer hears her for the first time, and I Bagged the Homer. D'Angelo wrote both songs in an hour and presented them to Matt Groening at the episode's table read.
Holy shit! So she was like all in on this episode, huh? She was like,
Yeah.
"Let's do this. This is gonna be my Simpsons episode. I'm gonna haul ass." That's impressive. That's like really, really cool.
Okay, another thing, Matt Groening said that during this episode production, he received comments from the production team that Homer was acting like a jerk in it. But his explanation was that Homer's behavior was due to his desire to make Lurleen a star, and he was oblivious to her attempts to seduce him until the end.
That's what I said too. But like, when she was really like going on it, then you realize, okay, no, he didn't know.
And this will answer a question for you that you asked earlier. This,
Yay!
this episode has the only mention of Krusty's sister in the entire history of the show.
Really? So it wasn't just me. Like, I feel better now because I'm like, maybe it was a newer episode.
Uh, and then also, during his long drive to the beer and brawl, Homer passes a boy playing a banjo on the porch, a reference to the dueling banjos sequence in Deliverance. The same boy appears later at the recording studio waiting in line with his banjo to record a CD.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that movie, Deliverance. Is that the one where they tell him to squeal?
Yeah, it's like, do 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 do. They're in the boat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Awesome. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean it was a pretty good episode. I just wish that they made her a little innocent just to show what it is because they did the cheating one or the nearly having an affair one for both of Marge and Homer already. I think. I know that there's the other one, but I think the other one's more like with Mandy. I think that one's a bit more famous. And
Yeah.
then Marge, she almost slept with the guy who did with the bowling ball.
The bowling goal, yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, you already did that.
That's true. Awesome. Well, I mean, this episode was quick. I like the music, and it was well written.
Yeah, I had
Good.
fun.
Yes. Next time it's going to be my choice, and because I am watching RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, guess which episode I picked?
Is it what's his name? The one where what's his name? He came out in the seat of Chucky and got burned by acid. Is it the one where he voiced it?
I don't know, but we're doing next episode. We're doing it season 6, episode 16, Bart versus Australia.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more of the drag racing than I was Australia.
Oh
But that's a
no,
good one. I'm excited for that one.
no, I said because I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. They're in Australia.
Well,
We're gonna-
yeah, but I thought maybe you were focused more on like the drag race part, but you know.
No, no.
But yeah, I was thinking of the one where they meet that what's his name, the gay guy.
Oh, yes.
He is the
But-
from.
But he's not a drag queen though.
Well, okay, I didn't know that. But for some
He's
reason, I
just-
thought that they went to a drag show in that one. I don't know why.
No.
I haven't seen that episode in a while.
Oh, okay. Have you seen Bart versus Australia?
Yes,
Recently?
it's not recently, but it's a really good episode. The only thing I'm curious is how well my memory plays it and what line of excellent writing do I always quote from this episode that I always forget.
Oh, before we end this episode, let me give you some of the Simpsons quotes of the day. I'm gonna give you like 5 or 6 of them. Are you ready?
All right.
I haven't done this year, right?
Well, yeah, since we haven't worked together for a while.
All right. Here's the Simpsons quotes. Ready?
Ready.
Donuts. I told you I don't like ethnic food.
What's it? Is that an ethnic food? What ethnicity is donuts? Isn't sugary sweets a what do you call it? Universal desire for humankind?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's French. I don't know. I'm not sure where donuts come from.
Something to look up in the future.
I know. Next one. You know, Lisa, music helps Daddy think.
Whereas the saxophone will make his brain short circuits.